Hi everyone, we're back. It's game week 10 this week. Kids should be in bed, PlayStation should be off, either or Xbox. I don't know if you have an Xbox. If you do have an Xbox, that's ridiculous. But turn it off. I'm Lucas, your host. This is unPUNDITRY. With me as always is Stuart.
Hello.
First game of the week, we've got Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. This could either be an incredible game or it's going to be the worst game of the week. I think Palace are going to struggle against Newcastle. I think Newcastle away are going to set up negative. They're going to put five at the back. They're going to sit back and let Palace play. I think Palace are going to struggle. I'm not sure if Zaha's back. However, I think with or without him, they're going to struggle going forward. Newcastle, on the other hand, I think they're going to rely on their pace and their counter. Saint-Maximin as well. Almiron, players of that calibre. I think it's going to be a 0-0 draw.
Newcastle offense boost. Wilson comes back into the side. Crystal's defense against Burnley was pretty much terrible with Dan and Kouyaté, so I expect them to be broken up. And Zaha won't be playing, but I think Eze will push up and be probably deployed a bit higher up the field alongside Ayew or even as a lone striker. The multi that I've gone with is Newcastle to win. I reckon they'll win this one. Both teams to score, both defences very average. And Callum Wilson comes back in the side. I reckon he has a shot on target. You could have even put a goal in. I reckon he comes back and scores, but better be safe than sorry. On to the next one.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a winner on this game, that's for sure. Next one, Brighton versus Liverpool. I think this is going to be really difficult for Brighton. I think it's a good matchup for Liverpool. Liverpool are deadly on the counter, and this game is set up for them to do so. They can cause a lot of damage on the counter. We know that. Brighton just need to finish their chances. I think they're going to get chances. They have been creating chances throughout the season, and I think this week is no exception. Salah is available for selection, so I think Liverpool are going to go with the front four of Jota, Mane, Firmino just in behind, and Salah. I think that's worked well. I think that's what they're going to continue. We'll see how they go. I think it's going to be a 3-0 win to Liverpool.
Brighton absolutely suck against Liverpool. They conceded twice in the first 8 minutes of the fixture last year. However, Liverpool were very average against Atlanta this morning, and if Brighton keep up their chances created like they have shown the past many weeks that's been happening, now that Welbeck comes to the side, it should be hopefully he can continue his form, and Liverpool has a very weak defence, so it's kind of you say it's pretty much made for Liverpool. This is pretty much made for Brighton as well to do anything. I've gone with a draw. I've gone over 2.5 goals. I do think that there will be goals scored on both sides. And I've gone, yes, both teams to score.
So do you really think Brighton's going to score the same amount as Liverpool?
Yes, that is what constitutes a draw, Lucas Stambos.
Okay, just double checking. Okay, next game we've got City versus Burnley. I would love a Burnley win. City have not looked convincing. I think De Bruyne needs to have a rest. I think they should rest him for either this game or a game against a lower side. I think he's been playing too much. The schedule has been hectic. He's been playing international as well. I think they should rest him. Give him a break. Let him recharge. Because he is pivotal for them. I think City are going to control the game. I think we all know that. I'm not sure how many chances Burnley will create. However, I think this week City are going to bounce back with a resounding 4-0 win.
4-0, God. City coming off 1-0 against Burnley. However, it was... who did they play with last week?
City, they lost against Spurs.
Olympiacos. Against Olympiacos.
Oh, midweek.
Yeah, midweek.
1-0.
This morning. They came at 1-0 against Olympiacos. It was pretty unconvincing. I actually expect KDB to step up this game. This pretty much has him written all over it. Very average side he's coming up against. He couldn't really do much against Tottenham last week because it's Tottenham and they're pretty much parked up like a bus. But he'll play a bit more free this week. But it will be straight domination by City. I've gone with Man City to win. I've gone Kevin De Bruyne anytime goal scorer. And I think Jesus will have 2 or more shots on target. On to the next one.
Everton versus Leeds. For me, this is the best game of the week. It's going to be very attacking, end to end. It's going to be a goal fest, Stuart. You've got to go over 2.5 goals in this one, I think. Both teams have been playing really well on the offensive side. Defensive side, they have both been lacking a little bit. lots of spaces to be exploited in this game. Richarlison's going to have another good game, and I think Bamford is going to play well, and he has been getting a lot of good service recently, so I think he's going to cause problems. I think if Leeds win this game, I think it's going to solidify themselves as a mid-table team for come the end of the season, but I think it's going to be a draw. I'm going 2-2.
Digne's out for 2 months. I don't know if you've taken that into consideration. But Iwobi I reckon, will step up like he did last week at wing back, either playing in the same right wing back role or moving over to the left side. I agree, Bamford should score. This sets up perfectly for him. This is another Everton-Fulham game. Both at very terrible defences, both very attacking offences. It'll be interesting to see the middle of the park battle between Phillips and Doucouré. Doucouré played outstanding last week, and Phillips, coming back from that shoulder injury, is pivotal in that Leeds lineup. I've gone with Everton to win this. I've got James Rodriguez to have one or more shots on target. Safe leg, I hope. And yes, to both teams to score. I don't know if it'll be over 2.5, but there should be goals both sides. On to the next one.
West Brom versus Sheffield. I can't wait for this one. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be thrilling. I think Sheffield are going to win this week, though. They've been improving game by game. I can't really see West Brom winning, honestly. I think Sheffield are going to be able to play through West Brom. But again, it's going to go either way. It's hard to tell. I think Sheffield are going to win 2-1.
I expect Sheffield to win again, despite Brom's actually okay form against United. Ender Stevens returning is a good defensive boost for Sheffield as well, and it does provide some offense, crossing in the balls to McBurney and McGoldrick. I don't think Bristol will start. I don't see West Brom scoring in this one. Outside of Pereira, there is really no one. Diangana and Grant have been really underwhelming. The 3-leg same-game multi I've gone with is Sheffield to win this under 2.5 goals like last week, and Ollie McBurney to have one or more shots on target. Another header. On to the next
Another header. You're right. Southampton versus United. Southampton been in great form, as we all know. No ings, no worries. They've been banging goals with ease. However, this week they might have to be a little bit more defensively sound, I think, against United. I think United cause a lot bigger threat than a lot of other teams going forward, at least. However, there's a lot of opportunities for Southampton to score. Same with United. I think it's the exact same. Going forward, they're great. Defensively, they're going to have chances. They're going to have chances offensively due to Southampton, not being too great in defence. They have leaked in goals. I think they need to feed Bruno in the final third. He needs to pull the strings. However, I'm going to go for a Southampton win, going 3-2.
This is a big test for United. It's theirs to lose, and I reckon they do it. They do lose. Southampton without Ings, but it doesn't seem to worry me. They're playing at home. Southampton have the fewest shots conceded per home game than any other side in the Premier League against a pretty average United attack. With that average United attack, I expect Cavani to start this week. However, with Bednarek and Vestergaard being the Polish stalwarts at the back, it'll be pretty hard to make him win aerials. The 3-leg same-game multi I've gone with is Southampton to win. I've gone over 2.5 goals. And I've got James Ward-Prowse, anytime goal scorer. Little bit of Bruno in him. I reckon he'll step up this week.
That's a big one. It could be a free kick or something. No problem.
Could be a free kick.
Yep.
Yeah, just give a bit of Bruno to it. On to the next one.
Chelsea versus Spurs, a classic London derby. Both teams really eager to win this one. It means a lot to them. They're direct rivals. They're going to be there at the end of the season in the top 4 or thereabouts. Two teams, I think, get to unlock their full potential. They've got match winners in their side from the front to the back. And it's going to be great. I think Spurs are going to sit back. Mourinho likes to sit back, blah, blah, blah. I think he said in an interview long time ago, maybe in 2005, I remember him saying that if you have the ball, you can make mistakes. Okay, if you don't have the ball, you can counter. You can do more with it. You can capitalise. So that's what they're going to do. Thiago Silva versus Kane. I think that battle is going to be pivotal in this game. Whoever can get the better of each other, I have absolutely no idea. It can go either way. But I think Spurs are going to win this one, 2-1.
I do not have any doubt in my mind that Tottenham Hotspur will win this match. Thiago Silva will return to the lineup, dropping Rudiger down. I think Azpilicueta will somehow find a way into the side as well, because Chelsea really need to to up their defensive capabilities with the likes of Son and Kane coming at them hot. Pretty much they can tear anyone else apart. Pulisic will return for Chelsea, I reckon, after his hamstring injury to provide some more creativity, but I don't think it'll be enough coming back from that injury. I've gone Tottenham to win. I've gone under 2.5 goals, and I've got Harry Kane anytime goal scorer. On to the next one.
Next one, we've got Arsenal against Wolves. I think Arsenal are going to struggle again, honestly. I'm not convinced with them going forward. They did win 3-0 midweek, but still, they have to change something. Whether that's playing younger players, giving them a go, they might be a bit more hungry. You know, they're on lower wages. They want to prove themselves. I think that's what they have to do. Just try something different. I think Wolves as well have been struggling going forward. I think Jimenez needs more service. He's been very isolated recently, and he's their main source of goals. I'm going 0-0.
Two very average offensive teams with this contest, pretty much likely to be dominated in the midfield. Moutinho and Neves against Partey and probably Ceballos or Xhaka. Reece Nelson should start after a positive performance this morning against Mulder. Scored, played phenomenally. I reckon he starts over where Pepe would. So it'll be Willian or... Yeah, Aubameyang will still play centre. Maybe Lacazette gets deployed on the left like he was this morning. But Reece Nelson should have a good crack playing the 90. Adama should retain his spot again after a good second half last week. And I reckon he'll completely antagonise Arsenal's slower backline. I've gone Arsenal to win under 2.5 goals. You're completely right, this won't be many goals scored. I don't know who would score. And I've gone both teams to score no. So I reckon it's a Arsenal 1-0 or a 2-0.
Yeah, low scoring. Cool. Next one, we've got Leicester versus Fulham. Leicester are going to dominate this one. I really do. I think Fulham are going to be open. They have shown that recently. They've been leaking in goals. Leicester know how to get through teams, regardless of if that's using the ball or using the opposition to create mistakes. Fulham look good against last week against Everton. Have improved in terms of going forward. I would like to see Fulham get a penalty. From a punditry perspective, I think it'll be interesting to see who takes it and how it goes. It's going to be fun. They've missed their last 3. See if they can get another one. I think Leicester are going to win 4-1. I think they're going to run away with it.
This should be a bounce back game for Leicester. I'm expecting 3 or 4 goals by Leicester, but no, I don't really have an opinion of how Fulham will perform. They scored 2 goals against Everton last week, and they should have scored a penalty. So it's pretty much anyone's guess if they rock up and play Mitrovic or Cordova-Reid scores one in. Don't really know. Looking at Barnes this week, he was deployed more defensively against Braga. That could be a new position for him. Give Maddison a bit more room up front with maybe the likes of Prayet. For my 3-leg same-game multi, I've gone with Leicester to win, over 2.5 goals, and Jamie Vardy 2 or more goals scored. On to the next one.
Last game of the week, we've got West Ham versus Aston Villa. Good game, this one. I think 2 teams that are pretty evenly matched on paper, at least. Grealish needs to keep firing, especially he needs to dictate in that final third for Villa. I think West Ham are yet to find a consistent starting lineup. That front 3 is really being rotated. Whether they stick with Haller is a bit of an attacking risk, I think. Extremely inconsistent. However, if they want him to be consistent, he needs to play. Bertrand Traore is also one to watch this week. Don't know if he's available. He might be in doubt. But if he does start, he will start ahead of Ross Barkley, who was injured. I think Villa are going to win 2-1.
West Ham will continue playing from the back with Masuaku and Kufal pushing high, and this will be a nice contest against a solid Villa. Expecting Haller to retain his spot, and he should score as he is very lethal with his head. But I do feel Villa will bounce back from this one as their creativity in that front four, with or without Barkley and Bertrand Traore. I think he's doubtful as well. Are good enough to pressure Cresswell, Ogbonna, and Balbuena. The 3-leg same-game multi I've gone with is Aston Villa to win this, Ollie Watkins to score. This seems like one of those games that he's been in good form. Another one of those Bamford-type players just probably will score. And yes, to both teams will score.
Cool.
as well as this now, 3 fantasy players that you should get into your side this week. Number 1 is Roberto Firmino. Last week, 1 key pass, 3 shots on target, 6 shots, and 4 completed dribbles. Will probably be playing more behind Salah this week. He had an outstanding game at Leicester, and I'm pretty much going to back him against the performance against the woeful Brighton backline. A few key passes. The next one is Alex Iwobi. 2 interceptions, 2 clearances, and 6 completed dribbles last week. Honestly, I really rated him at that right wing back spot.
Mate, it's a big risk.
He played really well. I mean, it was against Fulham as well. However, he was pushed up really high, and that James and Iwobi overlap really did well.
So you're telling people to put Iwobi in their starting lineup for fantasy.
I'm telling people to put Iwobi into their starting lineup for fantasy.
Okay.
He'll either take, as I said before, he'll either take over Digne role or play with the James overlap again. Against the defensively lacking Leeds, has a few chance at a few points pushing up high like he did last week against Fulham. The last one is Adama Traore. Last week, 1 key pass, 1 shot on target, and 8 successful dribbles. Arsenal have a very slow defense, especially on that right side where he plays. He's not a goal scorer, but I'm assuming he's likely to assist someone like Jimenez crossing in those balls, or even to someone like Neto on the ground or in the head for Jimenez. Yeah, those 3 players that you should pick up in your side this week.
That's it for Game Week 10. The preview, we will be back for the review show next week. See ya.